Champagne glowing near the ballroom, old piano playing slow, velvet footsteps through the corridors beneath the golden glow. The ocean sleeping in the distance, cold waves moving through the dark, while the orchestra keeps playing softly somewhere deep inside the heart. And the chandeliers keep shining as the stars float overhead. Nobody inside this moment wants the night to end. Midnight departure, jazz echoes through the sea, warm lights drifting on the Atlantic, like a beautiful dream to me. Midnight departure, moonlight shining through the blue. Every note feels endless tonight, floating quietly with you. Waiters moving through the lounge room, soft voices near the bar, crystal glasses glowing slowly under silver midnight stars. Outside only endless silence, beyond the glowing rails, but inside this floating palace, the music never fails. No fear tonight, only rhythm in the air, golden shadows moving softly everywhere. Midnight departure, the orchestra still plays on, moonlight dancing through the windows till the final song is gone. Midnight departure, soft jazz drifting through the night, one more beautiful illusion beneath the Atlantic light. Champagne shining in the moonlight, soft jazz floating through the air, the ocean sleeping far below us, like forever lives in here. Crystal glasses near the ballroom, velvet laughter moving slow, Golden chandeliers above us, painting shadows on the floor. Trumpets singing through the evening, waiters passing table to table. Nobody inside this moment believes the night could ever fade. And the stars above the Atlantic burn like silver in the sky. Every note feels warm and endless as the ship keeps drifting by. Champagne above the Atlantic, moonlight dancing on the sea. Golden nights inside the ballroom, like a perfect memory. Champagne above the Atlantic, soft jazz drifting through the blue. Every song feels endless tonight, floating quietly with you. Old piano near the staircase, playing softly through the hall. Couples leaning near the windows, watching moonlight touch the walls. Outside only endless darkness, cold waves rolling far below. But inside this floating palace, the music glows like gold. No storm tonight, only rhythm in the air. Ocean shadows moving softly everywhere. Champagne above the Atlantic, the orchestra still shines bright. Every dance becomes a memory beneath the endless night. Champagne above the Atlantic, soft jazz drifting through the sea. One more beautiful illusion before it disappears from me. Soft violins across the ballroom, golden lights above the sea. Everybody dancing slowly, like the night would never leave. Crystal chandeliers are glowing, velvet footsteps move in time. Oh, champagne beside the piano, under skies of midnight blue. Waiters drifting through the shadows, silver trays beneath the light. Every smile inside this ballroom feels untouched by the night. And the orchestra keeps breathing through the warm Atlantic air. Nobody can hear the silence waiting somewhere out there. The ballroom never knew what the ocean kept below. Soft jazz floating through the midnight while the chandeliers still glow. The ballroom never knew how the stars would fade away. Every dance became a memory before the break of day. Couples leaning near the windows, watching moonlight touch the waves. Quiet laughter in the distance, drifting softly through the haze. Somewhere far beyond the ballroom, cold winds move across the sea. But inside, the music carries every beautiful dream gently. No fear tonight, only rhythm in the room. Golden shadows drifting slowly beneath the moon. The ballroom never knew how fragile moments are. Soft violins above the Atlantic, beneath the silver stars. The ballroom never knew what tomorrow meant to be. Only music floating endlessly across the sleeping sea. Midnight stars above the ocean, soft wind moving through the night, violins drifting through the silence beneath the pale moonlight. Empty chairs along the deck side, champagne glasses left behind. The orchestra still keeps playing, like they're trying to slow down time. Cold waves rolling far below us, flashing dark. Every note floats through the silence like a whisper through the heart. And the ocean keeps breathing under skies so wide and blue. Nobody speaks above the deck now, only violins and moonlight do. Violins beneath the stars, soft jazz drifting through the sea. Moonlight shining on the Atlantic like a fading memory. Violins beneath the stars, cold wind dancing through the night. Every song feels endless here beneath the silver light. Passengers wrapped in long coats, standing quietly by the rails, watching stars beyond the darkness where the endless ocean sails. Far behind the glowing windows, the ballroom still shines gold. But up here above the silence, the night already feels cold. No voices now, only ocean and the strings. Soft Atlantic shadows moving beneath everything. Violins beneath the stars, the orchestra plays so slow. Moonlight drifting on the water, far below. Violins beneath the stars, soft jazz fading through the blue. One more song across the ocean, floating quietly with you.
Soft footsteps across the ballroom, golden lights beneath the glow. The ocean sleeping far below us, while the orchestra moves slow. Velvet curtains by the windows, crystal glasses catching light, couples moving through the shadows like they're dancing with the night. Piano melodies keep floating through the warm and crowded room. Nobody notices the silence growing somewhere beyond the moon. And the chandeliers keep shining as the jazz drifts through the air. Every heartbeat in the ballroom feels untouched by fear. Dancing while the ocean slept, moonlight falling on the sea, soft jazz floating through the midnight like a fading memory. Dancing while the ocean slept, golden shadows drifting slow. Every song became forever inside the chandelier glow. Champagne resting near the staircase, old violins begin to sigh. Passengers still laughing softly under deep Atlantic skies. Far outside beyond the windows, cold waves roll beneath the dark. But inside the music carries every fragile human heart. No voices now, only rhythm in the room. Soft Atlantic silence waiting beyond the moon. Dancing while the ocean slept, the orchestra still plays on. Moonlight drifting through the ballroom till the final song is gone. Dancing while the ocean slept, soft jazz fading through the blue. One more beautiful illusion floating quietly with you.
Cold wind over the ocean, stars burning quietly tonight. The deck keeps moving through the darkness while the music holds the light. Empty chairs beside the railing, champagne glasses left behind, soft footsteps fading in the distance, like echoes lost in time. Violins beneath the moonlight, trumpets drifting through the air. Nobody speaks above the deck now, only music everywhere. And the Atlantic keeps breathing under sky so cold and wide. Still the orchestra keeps playing against the endless tide. The band played louder while the ocean rolled below. Soft jazz floating through the midnight under the chandelier glow. The band played louder as the cold wind crossed the sea. Every note became a memory, drifting endlessly. Passengers wrapped in silence, standing quietly by the rails, watching stars beyond the darkness where the frozen ocean sails. Far behind the glowing windows, the ballroom still burns gold. But out here beneath the moonlight, the night already feels cold. No voices now, only strings against the sky. Soft Atlantic shadows moving slowly by. The band played louder, though the stars began to fade. Moonlight shining on the deck side where the orchestra still played. The band played louder till the final song was gone. Soft jazz drifting through the Atlantic long after midnight moved on.
Cold water beneath the moonlight, warm music through the air, the Atlantic moving slowly, like a secret everywhere. Deck lamps glowing soft and golden, footsteps fading through the night, passengers in heavy overcoats, watching stars beyond the light. A lonely saxophone keeps singing beside the silent ocean rails. Every note floats through the darkness where the endless midnight sails, and the ocean keeps on breathing under skies so cold and wide. Still the music holds the silence against the Atlantic tide. Cold water, warm music, moonlight drifting on the sea, soft jazz rising through the midnight
like a fading memory. Cold water, warm music, golden lights against the blue. Every song feels endless tonight, floating quietly with you. Lifeboats hanging in the shadows, soft wind crossing through the deck, empty chairs beside the railing, like forgotten silhouettes. Far away the ballroom glimmers, warm behind the crystal glass. But out here above the ocean, the night feels built to last. No voices now, only moonlight and the sound. Soft Atlantic waves below us, rolling all around. Cold water, warm music, the orchestra still plays slow. Silver stars above the ocean, far below. Cold water, warm music, soft jazz drifting through the blue. One more song across the Atlantic, floating quietly with you. Midnight smoke above the ocean, cold stars hanging in the sky, deck lights glowing softly golden as the Atlantic rolls by. A lonely trumpet near the railing, soft footsteps across the floor, passengers wrapped inside their coats, listening to the ocean roar. Cigarette smoke drifting slowly through the freezing midnight air. Every shadow on the deck side feels suspended somewhere, and the ship keeps moving forward through the endless silver blue. Still the music softly lingers, like a dream we're passing through. Last cigarette on deck, soft jazz floating through the night, moonlight dancing on the water under fading golden lights. Last cigarette on deck, Every note becomes a memory, lost inside eternity. Empty chairs beneath the lifeboats, quiet footsteps near the rails, soft Atlantic silence growing as the midnight slowly sails. Far behind the glowing windows, the ballroom still burns gold. But out here, beneath the moonlight, the night already feels old. No voices now, only ocean and the sound of a lonely trumpet fading all around. Last cigarette on deck, soft smoke drifting through the blue. One more song across the Atlantic, floating quietly with you. Last cigarette on deck, the orchestra still plays slow. Moonlight shining on the ocean, far below. The stars are fading slowly, cold wind moving through the night, empty decks beneath the moonlight, while the ocean holds the light. Quiet footsteps through the hallway, soft echoes near the rails. The orchestra has disappeared now into the Atlantic veil. Chandeliers still glowing softly, far behind the frozen glass. But the silence feels much louder as the final moments pass, and the ocean keeps on breathing under skies so cold and wide. Only moonlight left beside us on this endless midnight ride. When the music finally stops, the Atlantic filled the air, soft waves moving through the silence like a whispered prayer. Golden lights began to fade, every memory drifted slowly into the ocean haze. Empty lifeboats hanging silent, cold stars burning overhead, forgotten glasses near the deckside, where the final songs once lived. Far away beyond the darkness, only endless ocean blue. Still the moonlight touches everything, like it always knew. Oh, no orchestra, no dancing anymore, only Atlantic silence and the distant shore. When the music finally stopped, the midnight slowly disappeared. Soft Atlantic shadows moving where the chandeliers once glimmered. When the music finally stopped, the ocean carried every sound. One last echo through the darkness before the silence pulled it down. Midnight fading over the Atlantic, cold stars above the sea, one last melody drifting softly through the endless memory. Empty decks beneath the moonlight, silent hallways dressed in gold, soft piano near the railing, playing for the ocean cold. Lifeboats hanging in the darkness, deep blue waves below the rails. Every note floats through the silence as the final midnight sails, and the Atlantic keeps on breathing under skies so wide and still. Only music left beside us, floating through the freezing chill. The last song on Titanic, soft jazz drifting through the night, moonlight shining on the ocean under fading golden lights. The last song on Titanic, every memory moving slow. One more melody across the Atlantic before the silence below. Far behind the darkened windows, the ballroom barely glows. Only echoes of old laughter somewhere deep below. A lonely violin keeps singing beside the freezing sea, like the ship itself remembers every lost melody. No voices now, only stars above the blue. Soft Atlantic shadows moving quietly through. The last song on Titanic, the orchestra fades away. Moonlight resting on the water as the night becomes the day. The last song on Titanic, soft jazz vanishing from sight. One final beautiful memory across the Atlantic night.